Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done a few updates and a few videos, all sorts going on, but I have been trying to make a little bit of progress with the various jobs. I mean, one is the Volvo 480. I'll show you a little bit of work that I've been doing on that. Slow progress there, unfortunately, but we've also got a couple of faults appearing on the Zafira you can see in the background, so that's going to be the main focus of today's video. Going to be taking a look because we've got two problems with it. One is I had quite a bit of squealing from the rear wheel, and it changed according to the brake, so suspect there's something not quite right with the brake caliper there. Maybe it's a bit sticky, something like that. So we'll look at that. Hopefully that's going to be a fairly easy fix. The second one is the washer jets have stopped working completely. You can hear the motor running, but it doesn't do anything. So going to take a look and see if we can work out what it is that's going on. I'm hoping it's just a damaged pipe or a pipe clip or something like that, but unfortunately it's a bumper off job for this car because, like a lot of modern cars, the washer bottle and the pump and all of that kind of thing is actually buried in the front wing. So what we need to do is we need to take the front bumper off. So that's going to be the job, and let's go and take a look. So just on the way to show you about that one, looking at the Volvo 480, you can see that there is a rear arch that's now been welded in. Not the best of welding, but it's there. You can also see just at the bottom there, you can see the end of the sill has been welded in. There's a sill panel there as well. So that's coming along quite nicely. Got quite a bit more finishing off and sealant and all sorts of things like that to do, but I'm trying to make progress on that, so I'll give you a full update on that very soon. Once I've actually got a decent bit done, I want to make sure that there's a bit of progress there before I move on. So let's move on to the Zafira, and we're going to start by, I'll show you the problem and then we'll look at how we get the bumper off to get it, because the washer jets are down here. Now, it was suggested that I could get at it by taking the fog light out, but from past experience I remember that was pretty difficult as well, so that might not be as easy a fix as I was thinking. So I'll show you the problem first. Not a thing going on there. You can hear the pump running away though. So the filler bottle is just here. Let me just show you. So the filler bottle is just here, and that plastic then goes along and inside, and it ends up somewhere down here. And what I did first of all is under here, let me just take this off, because obviously this plastic panel here, and under here, there you can see that's the pipe for the washer jet. Again, run it like that and nothing comes out. That makes sure that it's not the jets themselves that are blocked and I don't get anything at all coming through. Also checking this pipe, nothing comes through that either. this is the common process for taking off the front bumper. Undo, I'll take the grill off, take off the first couple of clips, and then you go down to the wheel arch, and you've got these Star T15. You've got two of these to undo. You've got the lower and the upper. You can see using a tool like this is ideal because you can't get a screwdriver in there easily because of the distance without taking the wheel off, obviously. I mean, you could do it by taking the wheel off, but it's not particularly necessary. There we go. Okay, that's those two off, so that allows all of that to flex. This bit is a little fiddly, so underneath what you've got is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these with little pins with flats pushed into them. What you do is you pull the pin out, which then releases it and lets the whole thing come out. Now there is actually a proper tool for this, which isn't very expensive, which gets underneath and just pulls them apart like that. Now what I've found works is using a chisel, just put it in, prise it a little bit, and then use some pliers to pull the pin and the whole thing out. They do get damaged easily, you can buy replacements cheap. I've got a pack of them, so I'm going to be replacing them, so I'm not too worried that a couple of them have ended up getting a little bit mashed. But that's what we need from underneath. Now, similar sort of thing up top. Now I've got a couple of connectors to remove. If yours has got fog lights, you need to remove them. A couple of connectors here which are the crash and impact, which then lets us take the bumper off. So what I'm going to do first is disconnect the battery. Forgot to do that earlier, but before you disconnect sensors, you're best disconnecting the battery. That makes sure that you're not going to trigger any airbag warning lights, sensor faults or anything like that. So let's get the battery off. Now I just disconnected the battery just to be sure, but actually I think we've got enough space without taking the bumper off and disconnecting the wiring and things like that to actually get in, because here we have, this is the pump, this is the water bottle, this is the pump, and these are the little pipe fittings. So actually, without disconnecting everything, what I want to do is see whether the pump is actually pumping liquid through it, see how that's working. So let's get round and take a look. So what we can see is there's two pipes here. I'm going to guess that they both go to the washers, because there's one which is the rear and one which is the front, and neither of them are working. So I think what we do is we disconnect both of them, run the washer jets, and see whether any liquid comes out of this fitting. Okay, let's connect the battery up, turn the washers on and see if anything comes out. Okay, let's go and get the ignition on. That's the battery connected. Ignition on. Let's run the jets a couple of times. And let's see. So we're not getting much out of there, so I think what we need to do is take the bottle out and we'll see what's going on. So to remove it, obviously we've got the two pipes disconnected. There's an electrical connector at the top. Then we undo the filling neck. I'll just show you, there's the filling neck, so you undo that and then the whole unit should be able to drop out the bottom. Hopefully we've got enough space under the car to do that. So to get it out, there is a washer, not a washer, a nut that you need to undo up the top of here, so I'm going to try and get into that, undo it, and then we should be able to release the bottle, take the whole thing out, and we can work out if something's blocking it. And now we just wrestle this out. Looks like there's enough space. We can take it out and work out what's going on. So here we go on the bench. I've obviously emptied it out. What I want to do is get the little pump mechanism out of here and find out whether it's just a blockage or whether the pump has failed. So just need to work out how to slide this out, I think. There's a rubber grommet at the bottom here that looks like it seals it. Let's just keep pushing this up over. Not quite sure how that band comes off. I'm sure we'll find out. I think maybe if the rubber grommet stayed in the bottom, might have made this easier. Okay, it's just a little push clip that holds it on, so just prising it and out it comes. So what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for anything that might have got jammed in here and blocking it. So let's pull this rubber grommet out. Aha! And I would say that pile of sludge there that's in the bottom would be our culprit. That would explain why we could hear the pump running quite happily but not actually getting any water flow through it, because all of this looks quite clean. So I think the aim of the game is, let's clean this up, let's flush this out a few times, give it all a bit of a clean up. Fingers crossed that'll be it. So I've taken a little bit of time, given it all a good clean with the hose. It's all nice and clean. There doesn't look like there's any other problems. It looks in pretty good condition, to be honest. And amazingly, the little rubber bung actually has got little filter holes on it that were completely blocked, so it did its job. This has protected and saved the pump, because otherwise it would have pulled in all of that muck and dirt and the pump wouldn't have liked that. So that little rubber bung has really done its job. and it saved the pump. So what we can do now is we can start to put it back together, and I think it'll be easier to push the little rubber bung in there. We can now start to feed the pump in, and if I can find where it clips in, so just pushing down and then push it up against the back, that should then clip into place. So it's gone down, there we go, and that's the retaining clip. And if I just push it all the way down so it's sitting nicely on our little rubber fitting, and I'd say we're ready to put that back on the car, and then we can give it a test, make sure that it's all working. But I think that is going to be a job well done. Little nut fastened underneath. Let's attach the filler neck again, just on the little Well, there we go, and there's the bumper back together on my Vauxhall Zafira. So done a couple of jobs on there, so thank you as always for watching. I'll put information on the bits and things like that in the description below. Please do give me a like and a subscribe. It really does help the channel. It helps me make more videos. So if you could do that, it would be much appreciated. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.